The Gundam card game officially releases this Friday at the time of recording this video, and beyond its release mean it's going to be a time for local store tournaments to be getting underway very, very soon. And in today's video, we are going to take a look at the 8 cards that you are going to be able to potentially chase and go for at your local tournament. So stay tuned to this video to make sure that you do not miss a second of it. My name is Ben Fitzpatrick. I'm a TCG caster, so that just means I love talking about them. So let's do that right now. But before we go any further into today's video and all of the Gundam card game goodies, be sure to drop a like on this video if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on those post notifications so you do not miss an upload. I also want to take this opportunity to thank you guys that have stuck around, that have supported so far. Over the weekend, we hit that first big milestone. We hit over 50 subscribers, so a massive, massive thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far. And if you haven't, down below in that red subscribe button, we're going to aim for 100 at the very least by the end of the year. We've still got quite a while to go. I think we can get there. I think if we're being ambitious, maybe 1,000 by the end of the year could be certainly a very, very good thing. 4 followers away from 350 over on X as well. Link in the description while you're down there subscribing as well. So let's talk Gundam card game news. A couple of weeks ago, we got the information, or a couple of days ago actually, I didn't realise this news was so fresh. A couple of days ago, we got information and reveals about the Shop Battle Season 1 cards that we are going to be chasing at our local tournaments. So, a couple of things to break down here. First off, what is a Shop Battle? What is a local tournament? Well, for those that maybe are just sort of newer to trading card games, maybe been a Gundam fan for the majority of their life and have just seen this card game get announced and think, okay, maybe I want to try that, maybe I want to dive in a little bit. Shop battles and local tournaments are going to be events that will happen weekly at your local game store. You'll go in with your pre-constructed deck, either like the starter deck, 2 of the starter decks that are coming out on this Friday, or some cards that are also boosted with the main set GD01. Have to have your own deck though. You go along, you play a few games, you get yourself some entry packs, you get yourself some prizing, and you'll pick yourself up at least one of these Shop Battle participant packs. I'll say at least one of, because different stores might have different pricing. They might offer more, they might offer less, but you will always walk away with at least one of these cards. And similar to the way that other Bandai card games work currently in the catalogue at the moment, so One Piece, Digimon, Fusion World, things like that, when you play, and at the end of your tournament, or maybe at the start of your tournament, depending on how your local game store will run the event, you will be handed one of these packs. These packs will typically only have one of these possible cards in them, and there is a pool of 8 cards here, which you can see on your screen at the moment. If you're looking and saying, wait a minute, Ben, these are all in Japanese, don't worry, we will break down and translate each and every one of these that are going to be available for you. So you will go in, you will pay your entry fee, you will play your tournament, play 3 or 4 rounds maybe depending on attendance at the event. You will get one of these participant packs at the very least, and then the winner of the tournament, or potentially top 2 or top 4 depending on attendance and how your local game store runs the event, will earn themselves a winner's version of the cards. And we'll go into a little bit more depth of these at the moment. You can already see these look absolutely gorgeous. They are all alternate art treatments from the original cards, which we'll have a look at in just a second. But these are all alternate art treatments. The participant packs will come just in a standard version, similar to what you'd open from, say, a common or an uncommon in the starter decks or in the main set. And these are going to be foil and more akin to the bonus pack style foiling that you're going to receive in your starter decks. Each starter deck in Gundam is going to come with a bonus alternate art foil pack that's going to have 3 cards from the starter deck in this kind of slightly embossed foil style treatment, which we'll dive into in just a second. But most importantly, we've got a pool of 8 cards here, and what exactly these cards? Well, we're going to hop over to exburst.dev. This is a site that I've only recently just found while trying to look and find and make sure that we have all the translations for these cards before I actually go ahead and make this video. And thankfully, we do have all of the translations. This isn't sponsored or anything like that. This is just a really, really interesting site that I managed to find, and it was always a great resource. So exburst.dev, guys, if you're watching this, big thumbs up for you. Thank you for making this resource. So we're going to go ahead and look for the first card. So it's a level 3 2 cost from the main set, and I did see this card was here. Here it is. It is Jagen, a common from GD01. So it's a 3 cost level 3 2 cost. I'll get those the right way around eventually. Level 3 2 cost unit. 2/3 stat line, which has, while you have 2 or more Earth Federation units in play, this card in your hand gets -1 cost. So trying to rely on having a big Earth Federation engine in the deck, get those out onto the board, and if you can have 2 or more Earth Federation units, importantly it specifies units here, so it doesn't count pilots, you can play this Jagen as a 1 cost for level 3 as opposed to a 2 cost. Always a big fan of cost reduction in hand, always a big fan of trying to get units out into play earlier than perhaps they were initially intended, and at a 2/3 stat line, it's at least making a little bit of damage into base and into shields, and with 3 HP, it is living a little bit, and maybe 1 or 2 swings potentially in that early game. So not a bad little card, and you can already see here the alternate artwork that we are talking about. Jagen here already with its shield all nice and on display and firing its laser cannon. Here it is just this beautiful, almost like portrait style with showing off the visor and the helmet. So really, really nice to start off with. We'll keep it blue for the time being, and we'll focus on the pilot card that is available in blue, and I saw it here earlier. It is Sailor Mass. This is a rare card from GD01, so really interesting that they're including rares here into those participant packs. Sailor Mass, a level 3 1 cost pilot, does have burst, very, very handy. Earth Federation, white base team, and new type traits, so keep an eye out for those in your link pairs that you're looking for down here in the bottom of the corner. So here, Stark Jagen being an Earth Federation trait unit, Sailor Mass would be able to link pair with that unit while having, because it has that Earth Federation trait. Grants a +1/+1 stat boost to the unit that it goes and pilots into, and has the ability, while this unit is blue, it gains Repair 1. Repair is the keyword that activates at the end of your turn and heals the amount of damage equal to the repair value. So here it will recover 1 damage. And remember, repair as a keyword does stack as well. So if you have a unit, so say this Stark Jagen here, that has repair 1 already, if you pair this up with Sailor Mass, because the unit is blue, and because that unit already has repair 1, it will actually have repair 2 at the end of the turn. So a very, very nice little bit of synergy there, and always nice to get a rare card potentially as a participant. And again, that gorgeous alternate artwork showcasing the full image of Sailor Mass there. Next, we're going to go ahead and hop over to Red, still in GD01, still in the main set, which is just over 2 weeks away from release now, and we'll have full box openings of GD01 when the set drops as well, so be sure to be subscribed so you do not miss out on that. We have the Kashtira, I believe is how you pronounce it, a level 4 2 cost vanilla unit, 3/4 Neo Zeon, and the Cyber new type trait it is looking for in that link pair as well. This is an okay card. Being at level 4, to have to wait to play this is a little bit unfortunate, but if you can get that immediate link pair with a Cyber new type trait pilot, this could potentially be a little bit better. Green-red as a colour combination is looking to be quite swarmy, be quite kind of rush and overwhelming, so at least it being a 2 cost here slightly helps with that, but you may be looking for a little bit higher AP, a little bit more damage that it's going to be able to do while you play it down. And again, you can see that alternate artwork there on the Kashtira. Next up, we are going to go to a starter deck card. Yes, you can get starter deck cards in these shop battle participant packs, which is a very, very interesting decision from Bandai here. I can't remember off the top of my head at the very least if the One Piece card game has allowed starter deck cards in their local tournament packs. I think this might be the first time that Bandai are ever doing this, and if it is indeed, massive, massive thumbs up to Bandai for doing that. If these cards end up becoming really, really strong, really, really good in the upcoming first format in meta, getting these cards in participant packs, so having the options to get them if the starter decks have sold out potentially in the initial kind of release waves of the Gundam card game, I think is a massive, massive success and a really, really great idea here. And of course, it's another way to get some pilots early on in the game to pair with some of those units. So, Athra Zala, it's a level 4 1-cost pilot. +1/+2 is the stat boost that it grants, Zaft and Coordinator traits, and when linked, so when you link pair this pilot up with a unit, during this turn, this unit can choose an active enemy unit that is level 5 or lower as its attack target. And these abilities are big deals, typically, in Bandai card games. You're only allowed to, on your opponent's side, attack units that are rested. They have to be sideways. They either have to have attacked into the shield area, or have attacked into one of your units on your side of the board for you to then be able to attack into it. Athra Zala here completely circumnavigates that rule and allows you to declare active units as potential targets as long as they are level 5 or lower. And if you are immediately link pairing this with a Gundam unit at level 4, you're going to be able to target anything on your opponent's side of the board. So a very, very solid ability here that is slightly balanced out by the fact that it has to be a link pair that you are looking for here. So you are looking for units like the Aegis Gundam MA mode, which with that Breach 3 ability could actually be a very, very nice combination as soon as you hit level 4. Play the Aegis Gundam MA mode for 3, then immediately link pair with the Athra Zala. It gets the link paired ability of the Zala pilot, crash into an active enemy unit, defeat it, and then get that Breach ability trigger to deal 3 damage into the shield area. So either clear the way of a base card, or at least heavily damage a base card that your opponent has put there, because let's face it, at level 4, you should have cleared the way of the EX base by that point. Or you could just immediately pop a shield card freely, as well as clearing the way of a unit that your opponent's either played that turn or wants to potentially try and protect for later on in the game. So a very, very cool combination that you could potentially do there with Athra Zala. Now we're going to hop over to one of my favourite cards in the game so far, and that is white. And we're going to start off with another rare from GD01. It's Gundam Aerial, a level 5 3-cost unit that's a 3/3 Academy trait looking for Soletta Mercury as its link pair pilot. While there are 4 or more command cards in your trash, this card in your hand gets cost -2. So you could potentially play this out for 1 if you've used a lot of command cards throughout the course of the game. Now, the slight drawback of this is that being at level 5, it's relying on you to have used quite a lot of command cards early on, using 4 commands by the time you get to level 5 to get that cost reduction in hand is a little bit difficult to try and create. You do have some strong commands in the game and in the hand so far that we know of. Covert Operative is not bad at all. Choose an enemy unit with 2 or less HP. Bounce it back to its owner's hand. If you have a link unit in play, you can get a 4 HP or less. Naval Bombardment to boost up one of your blocker units to potentially help it block and destroy the unit that is attacking on your opponent's side of the board. Unforeseen Incident, we'll come back to this in just a second. We also have Overflowing Affection, one of the best early game cards in white so far. Draw 2, discard 1 on turn 1, potentially, if you're going second and have the EX resource. There's a lot of decent command cards so far that white has, and that is just talking about white at the moment as well. You, of course, get to pair one colour with another during constructed in the Gundam card game. So it's not impossible to do, but it's certainly a little bit more difficult. So you're probably more often than not just seeing this get played down as a 3-3 for 3, which in and of itself isn't terrible at level 5. A little bit, again, offset by the fact that you can just go and play down the level 4, the Gundam aerial bit on form, at 1 lower level for 1 lower cost in hand anyway, and it's a 3-4, and you can get the Selector pilot immediately onto it a level earlier and start swinging and getting that resource restanding. As you can see here, attack once per turn, choose one of your resources, set it as active. So this aerial isn't terrible, but I think at the moment there are other cards that we've got that are just a little bit stronger, a little bit better at doing what white potentially wants to do with that Selector Mercury pilot as well. But still, again, getting a rare in a participation pack certainly cannot be a bad thing. I mentioned about coming back to a card earlier on, and we will come back to it now because it is the other white card that you could potentially get. It is Unforeseen Incident, a starter deck 1 card, level 3 1 cost command with burst to activate the card's main ability. And this command can be activated either during main, your turn, or action. That small window of opportunity that you get when your opponent goes ahead and declares an attack. You have an action window to try and respond with a command card here. So this command reads, choose one enemy unit. It gets AP -3 during this turn. So potentially, depending on what your opponent attacks in with, in that action step, you can use Unforeseen Incident and just say, your unit is now a 0 AP unit and does no damage in this attack. So not a bad little combat trick whatsoever. At level 3, certainly not bad. The only minor drawback maybe is activating the main ability during burst. It can stop one of your other opponent's other potential swings because it's a during this turn effect. It's not during this battle, so it is a little bit stronger in that way. But not a bad card. Certainly not a bad card. Decent little combat trick. Quite surprised that it's been rated so low by users of exburst.dev at the moment, but you never know. Maybe they know something that I don't. Finally, we're going to hop on over to green, the final colour, to talk about the last 2 cards that you could possibly get in the store battle participation packs, and one of them is a very good starter deck card indeed, a card that I used in my beta battle when I played all the way back when, as the beta battles and beta kits were first being distributed to a wider audience. Wing Gundam Bird Mode, a level 3 3 cost from starter deck 2. It's a 2/2 that's looking for Hero Yui as its link paired pilot. Deploy, so when you play this card, place 1 EX resource. This card, going second, is very, very good. Or potentially even going first, it's strong as well, because you do ramp 1 resource by placing that EX resource. But going second, this card is even better, because remember, going second with the EX resource, that counts towards your overall level. So you start the game at level 2. So when you go ahead and go to turn 2 and draw your resource for turn from the resource deck and go to level 3, you can pay all 3 resources, play the Wing Gundam, burning the EX resource, and then the deploy effect activates, and you get the EX resource back. You don't drop back down to the same level that you would do if you didn't have an ability to redeploy the EX resource. This is a really, really good card. The often early turns that I would have done in my beta kit event, my beta event, would have been turn 1, Overflowing Affection, little bit of hand filter, find my strong LRs that I could play in the mid to late game. Then turn 2, play the Wing Gundam, keep that EX resource because of the deployability, and then on turn 3, I've still got the level advantage. I'm at level 4 as opposed to still being at potentially level 3 and slightly hindered a little bit. I'd have the opportunities to bring Hero Yui into the fray and pilot him onto the Wing Gundam and create that link pair. I have an option to maybe dip into white and play the Gundam bit on form as well. So a really, really nice combination and a very, very strong card indeed. The last of the 8 cards that we are going to talk about here is going to be Duo Maxwell, another rare card and another pilot that's a level 4, 1 cost. Has the burst ability, so you can add this card to your hand if it is flipped from the shield area. +1/+2 to its boosts, Operation Meteor attribute, and then during Link, this unit's AP can't be reduced by enemies' effect. So that attack point stat that we saw earlier on with the unexpected incident, that unit can't be affected while it is a link pair unit. So a very, very interesting pilot. The fact that it gives you an extra little bit of health boost isn't bad at all, and depending on how often or how frequently we see attack point reduction in the format in Constructed when the game fully launches with GD01 in July 22nd, this could be a pilot that a lot of people are looking for. So those are your 8 cards that we are going to be receiving or potentially looking to receive in the first shop battle of 2025 and of the Gundam card game. It's important to mention at this point as well that obviously you see Season 1 here in the shop battle logo. Generally, the way things work in Bandai card games is that you'll have, say, a 2 to 3 month period, generally kind of the same window as a new main set is out for before a new one becomes live or just after a new one gets released. That will be how long you will have to earn these packs. So this is Participant Pack 01. 3 months down the line, maybe when GD02 is out, we will have a Pack 2. That's generally how these systems work for Bandai card games in the past. It may change, potentially. It might be a shorter window. It might be a longer window at the moment. This is literally all the information we really have at the moment, because when you click through to the link, it takes you to Bandai TCG Plus at the moment, which you can see here is in Japanese. So we'll try and translate this. Well, this is just a lot of text here. I'll see if I can translate this. Give me 2 seconds. So I've just chucked it all into our good friend Google Translate, and unfortunately it doesn't really say too much more information than has been revealed literally by this tweet and these images. In fact, it actually even says that the participation and winning commemorative gifts are to be announced at a later date, so there's not actually even sort of guidelines here about how many of these packs that we are going to be receiving as participants. But as I said at the start of the video, generally the way that it works is that this is 1 card per pack, and I think even you can see here in the top left corner of the pack artwork, at least the sample template pack artwork, is that this is 1 card per pack. This translates to for age 15 and over, and this is 8 in total. So that's referring to the card pool of 8 that you could potentially earn from. So nothing too much more there to help us out with in terms of the actual logistics. But what we do know and what we can see are there are these 8 cards. You'll be able to earn at least 1 of them, depending on how many packs your local game store will be handing out per week of these 8 cards. And the winner will be getting these gorgeous extended artwork foil versions of these shop battle cards with the Gundam logo as well, either in the top right corner or in the bottom right corner, in the case of Athron Zala here. So that is going to do it for this video then, and now it's over to you. Let me know what you think down in the comments. What do you think of the card pool here? What do you think of the artwork as well that has been showcased on these cards? These are alternate artworks from the cards that are going to be in the starter decks or the main set. And let me know if there's any cards that you think are maybe missing from this pack. Any that you think we would like to have seen over any of the other cards. Any that you think maybe didn't need to be in this set at all. Let me know down below. And of course, let me know if you're excited for Gundam card games release. At the time of recording this, we are just a few days away from the starter decks releasing, and then 2 weeks after that, GD01 New Type Rising, the first expansion for the Gundam card game, will be in our hands. So it's not too long to wait, pilots, until we can start playing properly. So with all that said and done, that is going to end the video for today. I hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, please do drop a like rating on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already for more Gundam card game news, gameplay, and unboxings, as well as other Bandai related and other TCG content. And be sure to turn those notifications on so you do not miss an upload. But until the next video, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.